Working together, a summary of what people said. I wanted to find out how people around me like to solve problems and work in groups. I also wanted to find out how I could support them more effectively in our work together. I wanted to ask a wide range of people, including people in my team and other people who worked in other local agencies, tenants and staff of the agency that I work for. I also asked my family. I wanted to create one questionnaire that would be easy for all these people to use. I also wanted it to be open-ended so that people could share openly. I got 15 out of 16 of my questionnaires returned. First, I wanted people to tell me about how they thought problems could be solved. I chose a big problem: how we save the world. People could use the questionnaire in a wide variety of ways. They could choose symbols that represented their views. They could write words or draw their own pictures and symbols. In feeding back people's views, I have made the pictures that people chose most often bigger, and those they chose less often smaller. The things that people said most often included: we need communication, leadership, integrity, listening together, standing up for the liberty of others, standing up for our rights. We need balance, justice, empathy. We need boundaries and fairness. We need time together. We need to treat people fairly. We need to support different skills. We need maternalism. We need positive parenting. We need people to care, working together, humanity joined as one, tolerance, understanding, joint responsibility and cooperation, communication. We need alternative resources, consideration for natural resources, sun, balance, water. Good ideas to care for the planet, conserve. We need to save energy. I then wanted to find out about people's experiences of good or bad teams and groups. People's feedback broke into 3 main groups: outcomes, group working, and being a team member. We want teams to have shared vision, to try new things, to reach new goals, to set clear standards and values, to try and try again. We want groups to work together, to learn from each other, to share the bigger picture, to decide and compromise, to work equally, to provide constructive cooperation, to communicate, to put others before self, to celebrate difference, to integrate differences into a whole, to have strength in unity, to be fair. Being a team member, you should feel empowered as part of a close-knit group, feel understood, trusted, have space, feel acceptance, feel supported, feel guided, experience training, be treated as a skilled member, have your individual ways of knowing respected. What of people's negative group experiences? Groups have no clear goals or vision. Groups repeat things that don't work. They have poor outcomes and shoddy results. Groups have rigid hierarchies. They don't listen. Information is at the top, ignorance is at the bottom. There's no communication, there's no teamwork. The less powerful are devalued. The groups break rules. They don't know right from wrong. They just get by. They're motivated by power or money. Everybody feels small. Individuals feel criticised, treated as though they're lazy, they're closed, they're blamed, they're not seen as human, they're not tolerated, people feel prejudiced against, people feel defensive, there are arguments, they take each other for granted, people are treated cruelly. I then wanted to find out what people thought of my relationship with them. First, what was I like? Again, the pictures that people chose the most are the largest. Rick sometimes uses language I don't understand. Rick is sometimes confusing. When I disagree with Rick, I become a problem to be managed. Rick is always enthusiastic, a bit wacky. He is relaxed most of the time, happy, positive and pleasant, wants to help me, generous of spirit. Rick is helpful and supportive. He supports new approaches. He's very patient. He cares about people. Sometimes scary moments, but the support is there most of the time. Lots of ideas, good ideas, asking for opinions, asking for feedback. Lots of ideas, sometimes the bulb explodes. Good ideas, sometimes too fast. Lots of ideas. Make sure the group are partners, not followers. A good leader who involves others. Honestly seeking guidance. Moving quickly. Knows where he wants us to go. Wants to take us there. How do people feel when we are working together? Again, the most commonly chosen symbols are bigger. Me talking a lot, discussing. Sometimes interest converge, then it feels great. Feeding back, discussing things. Often unsure, sometimes puzzled, sometimes confused, unclear of what is required of me. Ideas sound easier, but are harder to implement. Not usually bored, but sometimes in a rut. Usually getting solutions, usually happy. Always laughing, smiling, sometimes agreeing, feel relaxed. I feel supported and guided to try new things, and I don't worry about falling off. Feeling supported, supporting questions. Feeling better, swapping ideas, able to pass on ideas, makes me think. Helps me to think about ideas. Some actually work. Insecure. I think that Rick may think I'm doing more than I am. I'm not inspirational enough, sometimes tired, sometimes stressed. Finally, I'm interested in how people would like me to change my behaviour when I'm with them. What did people want me to stop doing? Firstly, people wanted me to use less technical jargon, especially in certain groups. People also wanted me to stop interfering when I delegated a decision, and to stop suggesting ways of doing things that I thought were better when I'd said to people that they were taking control of a task. People wanted me to set more realistic deadlines, and to sometimes provide more support with implementation of new ideas. People wanted me to be clear about when I was going to make the decision and when I wanted the group to make the decision. People also wanted me sometimes to be more tolerant of other people's approaches, ways and timescales for doing things. They wanted me to listen more carefully. People sometimes also wanted me to accept when things were good enough. So, what have I learned from this exercise? Well, I have to say, first of all, the exercise has been very interesting. People were focused on ways of solving problems, which was far more about the way groups work together. People weren't that interested in great ideas that came from outside, or great plans that were going to save the group. People were far more concerned and interested in good group working than I expected. So the quality of group membership was far more important to people than I expected. Equally, the quality of leadership, both good or bad, was far less significant to people than I expected it would be. With regard to myself, actually people, I think in the main, found my style of leadership more empowering than I expected, which was good. I think that I felt that I was more hierarchical and than than actually people perceive me to be. However, I think I do interfere too much, and I need to be clearer with people, having delegated a task and agreed what we want to achieve, that I let people actually use their own methods, styles and techniques to achieve it. Finally, I'd like to thank everyone for their involvement in this process. It's been very, very helpful, and I thank everyone who contributed.